Hi, I want to talk about how to work our way up to sitting comfortably in cross-legged pose. It's called Sukhasana, and it means easy pose. But it's not that it's an easy pose, it's that we should achieve ease in that pose. And for some of us, there are certain areas of the body that we need to release. Now, I've got these blocks here, and you'll see why in a moment. Cushions work well, whatever you have, to support your body as you open up. So let's get started. When it comes to sitting up straight, it's usually our hips and our lower back that need to be released. So just start in Badakanasana. Bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees and your thighs splay out. This could be intense for some of us. So here's where we use blocks that support our thighs, because yoga is meant to de-stress. It's not to cause you another worry or concern. But believe me, when you can achieve Sukhasana, easy sitting pose, you will feel as grounded and timeless as the pyramids. I like to think of it that way. And when I'm sitting up in that posture, when you are, you'll get that feeling of being grounded, centered, balanced, an overall feeling of equanimity. So I'm going to remove, and you may too, as your hips begin to loosen in Badakanasana. So I'm doing this obviously in the lying down position. We can do it in the sitting up position as well. But we're just taking care to begin slowly. And then let's try our lying down pigeon pose. Now, cross your left ankle over top of your right knee. That could be a little intense for you at this point. So just move your right foot a little bit further away. Start where you are. Now I'm going to draw my foot back. And if it feels okay, bring that right bent knee towards you. Thread your left hand between your legs and interlock your fingers behind the back of your thigh. But I repeat, it's only if it feels okay. If you're not ready for this, please don't force anything. That is not the point. Ahimsa, nonviolence, starts at home, in your own body. Om, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti means peace. Some of us will be able to bring our fingers around the front. It's not the goal. Feel the sensations in your body. Now, tight hamstrings, tight hips, tight knees, tight hip flexors, all of these things can create a sore or weakened back, lower back. Okay, so clearly we would be doing this on both sides, so let's do that. Change your leg, and again, as I said, you may need to press that left foot away from you, or bring it closer. If you're ready, draw that left knee towards you, interlock your fingers below and behind the left thigh. If it's available to you and you can keep your shoulder blades on the floor. But I expect that if you're watching this video that you're a little tight in your hips. So stay here for a bit. You can gently, gently press that right knee away from you. Or extend your left foot further away Take your time. So here's where we do some stretching of hip flexors. If we sit a lot, our legs are up around here, right? So they don't get stretched. So that's what you're stretching, your hip flexors, and then if you can draw your knee towards you, you are opening and stretching the most stable, largest joint in your body, which is your hip. And if you like, we can do a little rocking in this position and just feel what's going on. And let's come back to Badakanasana. So bring the soles of your feet together. Instead of your feet being on the floor, they're in the air. And I want you to do a little rocking here too. Because our lower back loves a massage, doesn't it? And if you don't have a personal masseuse available, then you're it. All right. Now, because you've got a hold of your feet, can we transition, bringing the hands inside of the legs, wrapping your fingers around the arches of your foot, coming into happy baby? Get in touch with your inner kid. Now, your inner kid may be screaming, so bring your feet back down. Just see what you can do. Maybe you can only take your ankles. You don't need to do what I'm suggesting you do. You need to listen to your own body. But if it's available, and eventually it will, okay, your body can do amazing things. You only have to watch the Olympics or special athletes. Look what they do. But they took time. They were careful. They were mindful. So in Happy Baby, your ankles are directly over your knees and your knees are outside of your torso. Now, clearly, this mobilizes the hip, the knee, ankle joint, because that factors in. Your ankles and your feet factor in to being able to sit in easy Sukhasana. So we've done about 3 different postures here. It's going to take time. Don't force, don't push. So bring your knees together and one hand on each knee, and let's just make some big circles on that sacral area. And the wider your knees are, change the direction, the more territory you cover, and slow things down. Don't be in a hurry. There's enough things in life that make us rush. When it comes to listening to your body, you need to slow things down. And just pay attention to the sensations. Become curious, interested, with caring awareness, rocking from side to side. Okay, bring your hands behind the backs of your thighs, and if you think it's okay to rock up to a seated position, then do so. For those of you who aren't sure about that, just come over onto your side. Put your feet on the floor. Roll over onto your side and use your top hand to push yourself up. All right? Now, sitting cross-legged, most of us do well to add some height underneath our butts. All right? So this is what's called a runa, a special cushion that if you're interested in, ask me, and I will get you some more information on these. So now I've added height. Now actually I should uncross my legs, because just sitting up straight, and let me turn sideways here, if I don't add height, I find it really difficult to honor that curve in my lower back, and you probably will too, especially if you have tight hips, tight hamstrings from sitting. These things all tighten up. So just by adding this, and by the way, when you're sitting on these, when you're adding height, bring your sits bones towards the edge of what you're sitting on. It's not going to work if you just perch yourself on top. That doesn't work as well. You want to feel as if you're almost sort of rolling off it. All right? You can use blocks too, but because I have these runas, it's more comfortable. All right, so when you're sitting here, let's bring the left leg in and just see what's going on. Again, if you have knee injuries, be very, very careful. I've had them. It just takes time, and support your leg, okay? So once again, we're bringing some mobility into the knee joint and externally rotating the hip joint. So spend a little bit of time there, and then of course, we'll change. You can bang out the back of your knee if you've been sitting for a bit. Try the other side. Typically, most people have differences on one side of the body because we favor one side or the other, or we've injured ourselves. So again, you can use these blocks for support, and then release, shake that leg out, and then carefully fold your left leg in. Now the idea back in the day was that your heel would plug up the hole between the legs, and that we would just close off that area, keep the energy in. So obviously I am able to sit like this after years of practice. However, many of us would do well to support our knees and thighs, cushions, blocks. Basically, what you don't want is having your knees higher than your hips. I don't care how you're sitting. If you're in a chair or a sofa and your knees are higher than your hips, you will lose all integrity in your lower back. And then you'll get up and wonder, oh, my back hurts. Or you just lose energy. It's an energy drain. So remember, if it's not comfortable to sit without support, support yourself. Okay? And then once you get yourself sorted out, close your eyes, separate the biting surfaces of the teeth, relax the jaw, place your hands on your thighs, lengthen from your tailbone right up through the crown of your head. Feel your sits bones grounding, and let that which is touching the ground settle down. And here you are in Sukhasana, easy pose, and ready to unplug from a busy, crazy day and settle into the silence and the calm of your inner being. It can be a mini vacation that takes all of 5 minutes. From my planet to yours, namaste.